Hello everyone. How you guys doing today? Some technical difficulties here, but I wanna fix this issue real quick. Well, today we're gonna talk about the other three factors that you need to really keep an eye when it comes to build your credit score. Last night, if you haven't watched the video, you can go back. We talk about the two most important factors that will determine the good credit score that you may have. And today we're going to talk about the other three. So before we jump into the other three factors that you definitely need to keep an eye on, you definitely need to work on it to continue to build your credit score little by little. I'm going to share with you what are the five factors one more time. So the five factors that you have and how is your credit score calculated is number one, 35% of your credit score is from payment history. 35%. 30% of your credit score comes from your credit utilization, percentage of credit limits available. And then we're going to talk about the other three. 15% comes from the length of credit, for how long you've been having credit. 10% comes from new credit increase, right? So it's very important for you to keep an eye on those increases, because the more that you keep applying for credit cards, for cars, for loans, the more the score is going to drop. Eventually, it will come back up. But if you don't get approved for that credit card, you don't get approved for that loan, that will not help you, because every single time that you apply, you're going to lose some points, and I'll explain you in a minute. And the last but not least, the 10% comes from the type of credit. This is a mix of credits. What kind of accounts do you have in your credit score that will help you to increase that? So don't forget, payment history 35%, credit utilization 30%, length of credit 15%, new credit increase 10%, and type of credit another 10%. So let's talk about a little bit about how can we work on those and those three factors. Drop me one if you know exactly what we need to do in order to increase the two most important factors. If you haven't watched the video from last night, you better go back and watch it. That's going to help you. And let me know where you tune in from. I would love to see who's connected. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, even some suggestions, more than happy to listen to. So let's talk about the length of credit. 15% of your credit score comes from your length or credit. What that means is for how many years you've been having credit. And here's where the open new credit cards, new line of credits, take a huge role on your credit score. My recommendation is you don't open more than 2 credit cards if you want to start building your credit. If you start getting improve your credit, keep an eye when was the last time that you applied for a credit card. Because if you have 4, 3, 5 credit cards and you open one more, that moment is going to drop your score. Because let's say you have 6, 7 years of history in your credit cards or loans or whatever you have on your credit score. The moment you open a new one, it's going to shorten that time. The shorter the time, the lower the score. The longer the time, the bigger the score. So in order for you to build credit, you don't need more than 1 or 2 credit cards. I know a lot of people say, oh, you need to open 3, 4, 5 and pay on time and this and that. You don't need that. You don't need 1 or 2 credit cards. And when your credit score is above the 700, just apply for what you need. Eventually, if you buy a car, it definitely will help you, right? Your credit score is going to drop a little bit, right? But the moment you start making those payments on time, your credit score is going to start increasing. But do not apply for credit cards, for a lot of credit cards, because the only thing you're going to do is to have a lot of more credit cards to manage, more credit lines, more temptation to spend, and that can cause you a lot of points. 1 or 2 credit cards is very important, and keep it open for a long time. Tip number 2 about credit cards: do not close credit cards. Because if you close credit cards, it's going to drive your score tremendously. Some people recommend to do that, unless there is a credit card that has less than 6 months that you open, and you have quite a few more open with a long time on your history, and then it makes sense to close. But if you just have credit cards that have been having for 2, 3, 4 years, if you close them, your credit score is going to start dropping dramatically. And to gain those points back, it will take a lot of time. Tip number 3, make sure when you have 1 or 2 credit cards make sure you use your credit cards at least once a month, or once every other month, or once the most one every 3 months, because some creditors, if they see that you don't using your credit cards, they're gonna close your credit cards automatically. And once again, go back to the second tip. If those companies close your credit cards because you don't use them, guess what? If that credit card is being there on your record for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, it's going to drop tremendously. So remember, do not open more than 1, 2, 3 credit cards. Just with 1 or 2 is more than enough. Number 2, do not close any credit cards. Number 3, keep using eventually your credit cards, maybe only $20 or $25 or $50, and pay off the credit cards, so that way the companies don't close your credit cards and you run into a risk to lower your credit. Then 10% comes from the new credit increase. The third rule is you cannot have more than 2 increase in your credit score in the last 24 months. You have more than 2 inquiries in your credit score in the last 24 months, your score is going to start dropping a little bit, or it's not going to be increasing, because the golden nugget here is have only no more than 2 credit increase on your credit score in the last 24 months. If I've been running into situations with clients that have 12, 13, 14. There is a way to eliminate those. If you want to know, drop me a message. I want to know how can I eliminate those increase, and I will help you with that. But remember, if you have 2 or more on your credit score in the last 24, 2 or more increase in the last 24 months, that will hurt your credit score. Last but not least, another 10% come from the type of credit. Here's when you want to have a mix of accounts in your credit score. Now, when you're going to start building credit, you only need 1 credit card. A secure credit card is much better than a regular credit card. When you start building out your credit score, right, until you get to the 680s, 690s, 700s, and then get into a car, and then maybe get into a personal loan over time. Don't do that right away, because it may hurt your credit score, because you are applying for a lot of credit. So the type of credits that you have is very good to have a revolving account, which is a credit card, a loan, can be a personal loan or car loan, and maybe a mortgage if you qualify for a mortgage. Those 3 are the most important types of credit that you need to have in your credit score. If you have those 3, you can start building more credit, but that doesn't mean if you don't have a mortgage, your credit score is not going to increase. The moment that you have a credit card and you use that credit card, that's when you're going to start seeing results. Now, tomorrow, we're going to talk about credit cards specifically. So drop me 3 if you want to know how can you manage your credit cards, or what are the best way to manage your credit cards in order for you to start seeing increase on your credit score. Drop 3 if you want to know that. Now, last but not least, all about credit cards, all about lender credit has to do with how is your mindset when it comes to debt. Because you need to understand, a lot of people, oh, debt is not good, debt is not that. No, bad debt is really bad. Good debt is good for you. It's going to help you as long as you manage properly. Good debt is having a credit card where you can use less than 10% of the balance, and you're responsible paying that. That's a good debt. But bad debt is with the same credit card that give you $1,000 credit limit, and guess what? You use all the $1,000. The moment you max out your credit cards, you want to drive anywhere from 80 to 120 points. And to earn those points back is not that easy. It takes time. So if you're in the process to build your credit, rebuild your credit, repair your credit, improve your credit, send me a message. I'm more than happy to give you a 10, 15 minutes free, no charge, okay, analysis, a credit score analysis, and see how can we help you. But remember something, guys. Credit score is one of the most important things. Doesn't matter how much money you make. Doesn't matter how much money you have. If you don't have a good credit score, your doors are going to start closing. The better the credit score, the more doors are going to open for you. So once again, just to do a recap, I want to share one more time the 5 factors that are going to help you on your credit score. 35% payment history, 30% credit utilization, 15% length of credit, 10% new credit increase, and 10% type of credits. If you want to learn more drop an emoji, a fire emoji, send me a message, a DM, or comment here, and more than happy to help you as much as I can. Thank you for watching, guys, and have an unbelievable